SoundMeFreely.
I can't stop eating this stuff. Whis, get me some more! Those poses. Frieza isn't actually into that kind of stuff, is he? Well, this one is strong, but he doesn't appear to be terribly smart. I'll leave him off the team. Jiren, eh? His opponent is in real danger, is what I would say if I actually cared. Boo. He's no match for me, but I'll admit his power is the real deal. Of all those foolish enough to appear before me, you must really want to be destroyed. You dare challenge me? You're either extremely foolish or... Nope, you're just extremely foolish. She's an android, you say? What is it with mortals and their desire to change everything? If this isn't going to be an engaging fight, then I'm going to sleep. Hey, Whis, tell me, why do I have to commentate this match? Have they all forgotten that I'm a god? Two Super Saiyan God Super Saiyans fusing produces this much power. That's an impressive amount of power. Not that it comes anywhere close to my level, mind you. Vegeta's fights become rather violent when he powers up to the Super Saiyan Blue form. He's a human made of machinery, you say? Well, he's extraordinarily powerful. Wow, these little puffed clumps of corn and salt are just incredible! What? You don't need Potara to fuse? Why didn't you fuse like this in the tournament? When you know the result ahead of time, it sort of saps the excitement from the whole thing. This one appears to be running on pure instinct. Is he fighting against his will? It takes an immense amount of courage to stand before me with a smug grin like that. This foul-mouthed, brutish clown is what comes to mind when I think of Saiyans. It takes some real courage to ask a god of destruction to provide commentary. Of all the colors he could use to magnify his newfound power, he went with that? He was just as giddy as an adult as he is now as a kid. What a strange one. A little advice here. Your victory would have been ensured if you took the fight more seriously. So these buffoons won. Their looks aside, they're surprisingly strong. You constantly interrupt my nap time to train, so we would have problems if you lost. What did you think would happen? I couldn't stand idly by and allow you to dishonor the gods any longer. I figured your time in hell would put you at a disadvantage, but I guess I was wrong. There is no reason this delusional fool should win. I want him stopped. Do you hear me? You can thrash about all you want, as long as you don't get in my way. This breed of Saiyan is very different from what I've grown accustomed to. Allowing this fool to run free would do an immense disservice to the gods. What power! If you two could have done this during the tournament, we could have easily won! Even after winning, he still hasn't calmed down. There might be something wrong with him. Fine, I'll do this, but there'd better be an extravagant feast waiting for me afterwards. The attack's power is to be commended, but it's not without its flaws. Precisely the win I'd expect from someone who trains incessantly in my backyard. I think I'll just enjoy this. What is it? Popcorn? Yes, I'll enjoy this popcorn as I watch. Well, there's no telling when the next tournament will be, so perhaps I'll do a bit of scouting. Given that you're the MVP of the Tournament of Power, I expected you to win. What power? How is it that mortals came to produce something this strong? Piccolo wins. I now have a better idea of Namekian fighting strategy. I suppose his experiences in the future require serious combat skills. I must say, this is making me crave something sweet. Whis, what's for dessert? Oh, you mean I've stuck around here watching this just for it to end in a tie? That fiery look in his eyes reminds me of a certain someone. That attack could use some work, but it wasn't bad. You have my approval. Well done. There's no need to take your opponent's attacks if you can easily avoid them. That's a rather crafty move. I didn't know the little guy had this much skill. Just so you know, this was not me at my best, so don't let it get to your head. Fine, I'll watch, but this had better be worth my time. I am a god, after all. I still haven't forgiven you for the pudding incident, so I'm not acknowledging your win. I may have fought in this match, but my heart wasn't in it, meaning I didn't actually lose. That's a rather large ball of energy. I would imagine it has some real force behind it. And Hit is victorious. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. This one is quite sharp. He and Goku aren't that far off from each other. You only won because you ran out the clock. How sloppy. He assisted his son. I suppose he does have some fatherly qualities after all. I suppose this is some sort of reimagining of a famous event. That's nice. A nearly flawless fight. I must say, you have quite a bit of potential. I would have thought the match format would encourage a more cooperative strategy. Of all the Namekians I've seen, you appear to be the most capable. Although you had help from Goku's kid, you still did well. Congratulations. This little guy is quite the universal menace, so of course he won. Android 21, eh? She's proving to be a real nuisance. So Vegeta won. Of course he did. I'd be concerned if he didn't. Excellent performance. Well done. There's still no match for me, though. I'll acknowledge your power, but I will not allow this god nonsense to continue. And now that I think about it, why are these fools fighting each other again? Well, now that's a large one. Goku looks even smaller next to it. What is this Super Saiyan form? That's not a god form now, is it? This is no ordinary Saiyan. Where has he been this whole time? I had no idea something so weird could pull off such refined techniques. The loving husband comes to his wife's aid. How touching. Oh, whatever. I don't really care who wins or loses these things. Surely they're not going to let the match end like this, are they? How unbecoming. Oh, it must be rather embarrassing to have your attack deflected like that. Super Saiyan 3? Goku's looking to win this, it seems. I'm afraid I have nothing of interest to say about this one's victory. I don't care who does it, just do something about this pompous pretend god! I can't believe I'm just now seeing this fused form of theirs. This is what happens when you both fail to finish the other one off. Don't get too cocky. You managed to take one down, barely. What is the meaning of this? Why did you two not do this during the Tournament of Power? Now that the match is over, should I have lunch or take a nap? Well, of course I won. The very thought of me losing is absurd. How vicious. This must be the true nature of the Saiyan race. Oh, so this is what happens when the two of them combine their power. To pull off a win after such a setback is worthy of praise. That's our Goku. Even in the body of a child, his strength is still impressive. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't expecting such a close match. Why couldn't you two execute this move during the Tournament of Power? Damn that Goku! He's been holding back that kind of power this whole time? That was actually fun. I wouldn't mind watching another one of these fights. Videl. She looks a bit on the young side. Can she actually fight? Jiren's full power is behind that. Even we gods might struggle. Is it finally over? Good, I'm leaving then. Where's the buffet? Are these little brats playing make-believe? I have no interest in watching such things. So the lovely couple won. Well, I suppose that's sweet. I commend both fighters. They actually held my attention. He always seems to enjoy himself. He's a truly fascinating guy. Fascinating. This one is no ordinary Saiyan. Huh, that's the look of someone who's quite full of himself. Well, now this is rare. I suppose these things happen, though. Android 16, no 17. Let's see how good he really is. Oh yes, that's right. This one mentioned something about being a martial artist. Goku's son. This should be a stimulating matchup. What is it with Boo and this one turning people into tasty-looking food? In fights this intense, it's only natural that things get destroyed. They've got an ace up their sleeve, only a matter of time before they use it. Things are about to change. Now's the time to pay attention. I don't recognize whoever this is, but he's strong, and I like that. I think I see what's going on here. You're trying to show off. Well now, Vegeta's really coming into his own, isn't he? Well, someone's in a hurry. Not that I care. Why are all these people fighting again? Isn't anyone hungry around here? The one from the future, or I suppose the earlier future. This pink puffball is oblivious to everything, isn't he? You wouldn't have wasted so much time if you'd finished them off sooner. Nice try, but this certainly won't be enough to decide the match. How shall I put this? Your attacks are utterly ridiculous. Such a hassle to chase after someone after you've blown them away. Am I supposed to be impressed because they strung a few wins together, huh? I would imagine the side with fewer members is feeling the pressure at this point. Gogeta. Well, this match should be a bucket of laughs. Boo. Very well. Let's see what this little guy can do. Vegeto, is it? Well, this match should be a barrel of fun. They seem rather cocky despite defeating only one of their opponents. Very well. Allow me to see if you've learned anything from your training. Do you honestly think I have time to go along with this little charade? Goku. Well, at least he'll provide me with some entertainment here. Miniature Goku. Hey, Whis, remind me again why he's this small. I must say, this is the first time I've seen him put forth this much effort. Well then, I suppose I'll see what these two teams can do. That's Cooler, right? I think that's Frieza's older brother. I had no idea the little guy was housing that much power. This could be very painful for the one on the receiving end. Oh, well, they're feistier than I thought. Color me impressed. So the energy blast gradually gets larger. I see. Look at that. The married couple is attacking as a team. What's this? A chance to regroup. How sweet. They're performing quite well. Not that I care about any of this. Let's see. Can't help wondering what comes next. To create such a being, mortals have more potential than I thought. An excellent display of skill, Android 17. That certainly screams Frieza in both good ways and bad. Oh, impressive. They managed to survive. Did you see that? They could barely contain themselves. Wait, what? Are they out already? How boring. The loser must feel awful. They were within inches of victory. Android 21? Let's see what she can do. He may have gotten smaller, but he's still Goku. The old guy Roshi must be one heck of a trainer. They called for help before getting cornered. A wise move. Given how close this is, one mistake is all it's going to take. If this is all it took to send them flying, they really are careless. Well done, Saiyan, whose name I don't know. What? Well, that match ended quickly. Not looking good for them. How long can they hang in there? As expected, their movements are perfectly synchronized. I never imagined the gap between them could be this wide. This one's energy is similar to Goku's. Well now, I don't think they realize they've moved the fight elsewhere. There's no need to rush. The fight's only just begun. Well, isn't that nice? Good work, Goku's son. I believe he's called Android 16. Just do what you can. I couldn't care less. Well now, this might not be so uneventful after all. Tien wins. I'll admit he's no pushover. Yes, that's it. No need to pull any punches. A Saiyan? I'm assuming another one of Frieza's goons. They forced a switch, so they're fighting with their head after all. What is he even doing here? Did Champa put him up to this? How much longer are they going to waste my time? Is it really necessary to fire the attack from your mouth? I never figured him for someone reliable. I stand corrected. I don't see the problem with taking a breather every once in a while. If I'm not mistaken, that's Goku's other son, right? And the next attack should put an end to all this. That's the ticket, Goku's kid! I knew you could do it! Jiren's power is unlike anything I've ever seen. It would be more fun if you let the other person get in a punch. I just can't seem to care much for this one. Yes, that's it. Keep it up and they'll be done in no time. One of Freeze's underlings, right? Yes, let's go with that. I'm impressed they have this much control over their opponent. You mean to say mortals also created this thing? Well, that's to be expected when you lower your guard. They're making sure their opponent has no chance to attack. You're gonna be wide open if your attack fails to land. Oh my, that's a rather fascinating technique. I think I'm actually starting to care about this match now. A Saiyan with surprisingly volatile energy. Let kids win too much, they'll become spoiled and entitled. Let's see how their body handles this attack. Vegeta, let's see what he can do. Well now, that looked rather painful. They're clearly letting this happen. I wonder why. Can't possibly be over already. That's a fierce attack, as expected from Vegeta. If someone doesn't end this, the clock will. No matter who wins, this will be over soon. Well done, boy. You have my respect. This is what happens when you rely too heavily on defense. This is what you should expect from a god of destruction. So they're finally getting this show on the road. Well done. That was an impressive display of skill. That was so fast I didn't have time to lose interest. Ha! This should prove entertaining. Jiren won. Well, I guess I can see why. Fine, I'll watch. I could use a distraction. They seem to be doing quite well for themselves. Switching out as they guard, huh? Clever. He won without turning into a Super Saiyan. They might be able to see this through. Well now, that's an impressive level of destruction. Know your place, fool. You are no god. Not too much longer until this is over. Let's see how this plays out, shall we? They're hoping to close the gap and move in for the kill. Leave the destruction to me. It's my job. Oh, this is rather exciting, isn't it? It might prove difficult to come back from this. They've certainly taken their sweet time getting to this stage. Oh, you have my attention. So they're calling for assistance now then, eh? I expect no less from Goku. Look at that! A fine way to start a match! Allow me to compliment you on a fight well fought. Let's see if they can come back from this. What is this talk of being a god? Enough of that! They found a hole in their opponent's defense. This is a moderately entertaining match. What's that? Another one of them is down. So this is what it took to keep Zamasu at bay. One of Frieza's goons, I'm guessing, versus some rather uncivilized Saiyan. Goku Black, is it? What's he doing here? Some Saiyan I've never seen before versus... I think they might be feeling the pressure now. I'm not unimpressed, I admit that. He's got some rather dangerous techniques. Hit! Whatever. What? They can still stand after that? Frieza. Very well, then. Have things finally started to pick up? They finally managed to take one down. Nothing special, but not terrible either. You did rather well for a normal Earthling. Very good, Krillin. I knew you could do it. What's this? There's some kind of time limit? Android 16 versus... Why take an attack if you can avoid it, right? I would imagine they're looking to finish this. Isn't that one of Goku's techniques? Some bug creature versus... I can see either of them winning at this point. I commend their ability to read their opponent. They're not going to walk away from this unscathed. Whis, remind me who this guy is, would you? A true battle of wills, as they say. It would seem they're sizing each other up. That was more riveting than I thought it would be. Yes, that should just about do it. Not much time left on the clock. Let's see. Cooler versus... So you won. Come on, be quicker in defending yourself. Serves you right. You were wide open. If you don't make your move, this is what happens. Every little bit adds up, I suppose. Oh, a fine technique. Now that's what I've been waiting for. Well, I guess this changes things. Makes sense. This is a team battle. Vegeta's taking this seriously. Enough. Just shut up and watch. You barely won that. Miniature Goku versus... They're attacking as a family? I see. And this is the counterattack. They're not interested in wasting time. The gap between them is growing larger. Some strange thing versus... This one's making me nervous. I think I see where this is going. Android 18, it seems. I don't know, him versus... Such a satisfying sound. Well done indeed. A Goku copycat versus... Goku's son versus... Android 18 versus... Android 21 versus... They seem to be up to something. Both of them are at their limits. This might wrap things up. Gotenks, it seems. All three of them? I didn't think it would come to this. Will they go for the counterattack? Majin Buu versus... Yamcha, it seems. And there we are. Gogeta versus... Piccolo, it seems. I've seen worse techniques. Yamcha versus... The future one against... Tien, it seems. Gotenks versus... A Saiyan versus... 17 versus... Krillin, I guess. Vegito versus... Strategic move, yes? Majin Buu, it seems. Zamasu versus... Videl versus... Krillin versus... Piccolo versus... Tien versus... He intends to die? They're playing it safe. Impressive. Tricky little time skip. Yours truly. Excellent assist. And who is this? Vegeta versus... It's a tie? Frieza versus... Jiren versus... Buu versus... Goku versus... Me versus... Hit versus... Black versus... Zamasu?
SoundMeFreely.